everyone, and welcome back to the Irish Hills. We're here for the AWSCO Windows Cup Series now, racing at Michigan in the Henry Ford Health 400. It was the Continental Series turn yesterday, and today it'll be the Cup drivers running at this beautiful 2 mile oval. I'm Rasha, and I'm joined here once again with Eddie in the pre-race show, who has fortunately been mostly released from his purgatory slash probation slash whatever he was at, to join us once again here in the broadcast. Welcome, Eddie, and good to have you on a consistent basis again, I think. And
Yeah,
mhm.
I believe they did call it a suspension, not a permanent one, unlike the Continental drivers, but just a suspension, and then put me on probation so I could get a couple dates, and they could make sure I don't just curse randomly uh on broadcast anymore. I've learned my lesson, and that lesson is I need to lock in whenever I'm doing these. But regardless, we're back in Michigan. Pretty nice state. Unfortunately, because of extenuating circumstances, I'm probably going to be disappearing into the ether, otherwise known as the infield garage, for a little bit. I'm not going to say why, but it did have something to do with the Continental race. I'll just say that. But it probably means I won't be around for the broadcast. So good news, everyone, and you better be smiling when I say this. Ellie will be joining us, and by joining us, I mean joining Rasha, both in pit road and mid race and post race. So yeah, give her a warm welcome, or on my life, I will end you. I will find you. That's all. I will make threats.
Well, that's certainly one way to introduce yourself on the broadcast once again.
I'm trying to give people hype, okay?
Not sure
Trying to
what
give people
the
more hype
hype.
for them than they are for me.
Yeah, okay, that's definitely one way to do it, I guess. All right. But yeah, we're at Michigan International Speedway. We had the 300 miler for the Continental Series yesterday. It was extremely windy out yesterday, which really did throw off some of the drivers, especially on those corner exits. I mean, we saw how many times they get into each other on the exit of 4, and I think the wind was pretty vicious yesterday. Today it's not as bad as blowing the other way. We'll see what happens, we'll see how that affects the way these drivers compete, and whether or not that bodes well for the incident. What do you call it? Concentration of incidents today. Hopefully, it means that there's going to be fewer of them. But yeah, yesterday was definitely a bit of a crazy affair, which had a lot of cautions, especially early on with most of the field running.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, this was the one thing that just so happened to flip my notes right beforehand, was the fact that there was a pretty big wind. There was some very consistent wind heading into turn 4, which might have caused some of the earlier accidents with cars going 2 and 3 wide in that corner. Of course, I missed it on my stats list. That's something I don't usually do. If you're from America, you probably know why I did so, or why it happened. But regardless of that, hopefully that means with the Cup drivers' experience, plus the I think tempered winds, as we've been hearing for most of the day, we will assume that it'll be much easier for them getting around turn 4, actually 2 or 3 wide, and that will hopefully help us have a cleaner race where where it's more up to driver mistakes out of corners that determine crashes, and less freak wind ability.
Yeah, hopefully that is the case. But regardless of that, I think we'll expect more of the same racing in terms of high drafting, a lot of run management, similar things to what
Oh
we
yeah.
saw in the Continental Series at both Auto Club in Michigan, and of course the Cup Series when they were racing at Auto Club as well. Fuel strategy wasn't as much of a concern yesterday as some may have thought. It was definitely a major factor in both Auto Club races, I think, but not as much in yesterday's race, which may have I'd say may have been caused by by the errant number of cautions, but I'd be remiss to mention that there were quite a few cautions in the Cup race at Auto Club as well, from what I remember. So
Yep.
I think it does. I think it will. What do you say? I think it will come down to the timing of the cautions. I think more than the concentration of cautions as to how that will affect the fuel strategy race today. But it's early days. I don't think teams are going to be paying attention that much in the first half of the race. I think teams are going to be mostly focused on keeping pace with the draft and making sure that if there is a green flag cycle, uh, how do I say this? The green flag cycle. We saw a couple of green flag cycles in the Continental race, and it worked a lot. It ended up being coming. It ended up working out a lot like what do you call it? A plate super speedway pit cycle in which the best you really want to be to catch the draft of the leaders if you want to be a factor in the race come the very end. I think.
Yeah, I think it will. I think we I hyped it up a lot yesterday with how much I thought strategy was going to play into it, and then of course the two drivers who had a shot at winning at the end both came down on the exact same strategy, and it came down to lap cars that ended up being it. But I would assume that, well, exactly as you said, if there are more green flag runs, we are going to see more strategy with how teams move it out. Hopefully, we don't have early cautions that just sort of keep everyone on the same strategy until sort of the mid race, because again, there's a very good chance leaders won't. If leaders have learned anything from Continental, it's that again, being a drafting track, you want to stay with your drafting buddies, which would be whoever is around you. So a lot of people might stick to whatever strategy is being mulled around by whatever group they're with, in the hopes of pushing towards a leader should a leader get caught out. So yeah, we might not see too much of the strategy game other than stick with the people you need to stick with, sort of like a Daytona or Talladega. Especially with how that worked in the Continental Series. I mean, we saw what happened the 15 to 38. They had a chance, and then after that pit cycle, that chance evaporated out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like they lost several seconds to the 66 and the 4. So I think that was a learning curve. I think the Cup teams are going to know that. I think this might just be more of a I can't say which driver gets lucky, because that's you can run the outside lane like a madman out here and use that to run your way to victory. So it is really just going to be a race where the advantage goes to the drivers who can sort of both weave their way through traffic and also like win these one-on-one dogfights. Maybe win these like 3-car, 4-car dogfights, because those cars are going to be the ones, and those I say those cars like I mean those drivers are going to be the ones who have the advantage going late into the race when everyone is probably on the same amount of tire wear, probably have the same amount of fuel in the car, and it's just whoever can get to that finish line first.
Mm-hmm. But also, I think one of the things that you'd be thinking about, what do you call it, in terms of pit strategy is I think the tire wear at this track isn't as present as it would be in Auto Club. I don't think the surface is as bad as worn out as it is over in California. So I think the tire wear in the Continental race at least definitely plateaued for most of the run. I think, and I think that may swing the strategy game in favor of overcuts more than undercuts. That's another thing I think you have to consider. We didn't get as much data on that as I'd like to like make a definitive decision on that. But from what I saw in the Continental race, that seems to be the case. I wonder if that's something we're going to end up seeing if we get more than say 2 or 3 green flag pit cycles in this race.
Yep, and I mean, I'm excited to see how it all plays out. I think one thing we should look at in terms of who will be thinking through that is towards how the cut line is surging in terms of the starting lineup. And I mean, the cut line being 17 points right now. So you can say like, well, it's not that close, but then you look at it and you realize there are do the count. About 7 drivers currently about a .1 race point swing away from being in on points, and plus then there a multitude of drivers who at this point would need a win to even look close. I know Waterton, Happerman, and McDesmina are in that situation with the win, so someone would like to be the fourth person to do that. And I mean, I can see it happening. I say that, and you have like Lori Schliesenbach is starting up in the front. Carly Byrne is starting up in front. Yet again, it feels like uh, I think Alicia's up here, but Alicia already has no.
No, Alicia
Alicia's
doesn't
close
have
to
a
the
win
cut
either.
line too.
Alicia's on the
Uh,
cut. Yeah, right. Pretty close to the cut line as
yep.
well.
And you have someone like I don't know. Rachel Cole has a win too. Right? I'm
No,
not
Rachel Cole
looking
doesn't.
and then
No,
swinging
Cole doesn't
around.
have a win either. Cole's
Yeah,
really far down
then
in
there's
points.
some like Rachel Cole up in the top 10. Surprisingly, that's about it. But you see, there are a couple of drivers who made the Fast 10,
Mm-hmm.
which achievement in of itself. Who, I mean, again, that overcut could really work for them because some of them are fighting for a win. Some of them are just trying to finish ahead of a couple of drivers in order to gain on that cut line. Some of them are just trying to beat, Yenfi Yanaga, who is the last woman in as of right now, who's sitting in 30th to start this race. So, I'd imagine that we see the undercut go to the teams considering that undercut that you talked about is going to come from these drivers maybe up at the front, maybe sort of in that middle area that's just like we just need to beat Yanaga, so overcut Yanaga at all costs. Um, in the hopes that the result of that leads to them getting a beneficial finish or just a couple of spots on Yanaga, so that you can slowly cut into the drivers who are pointing in right now, because you never know if we're gonna have 20 drivers with a win, but at this point we can start to see there are drivers. I mean, you look at who's in the front and the top two right now: Marisha Bebels and Bria Delade, who already have wins. So that should be a sign right there that you can't point your way in if the good drivers keep winning. You're just gonna need to start putting in races that'll get you points, that'll get you to catch up to the cut line. And right now there are a bunch of drivers who can realistically get a pretty big cut into Yanchi Yanaga's lead in the next couple in this race. So I could imagine that's where that strategy that you talked about comes into play.
Yeah. And I mean, Schliesenbach, if you're Schliesenbach and Byrne right now, the important thing to note is that everyone else around you in the points is starting pretty far back. Most of them are starting around 25th to 30th or so, and behind there. So that's, I think, something you have to pay attention to as well. Most of your rivals that you're racing in for the playoff hunt are pretty far now. So I think those two drivers might have a little bit of wiggle room maybe to try to fine tune the strategy a little bit, considering that they're going to be up front early on, and if there is a flurry of incidents early on, that's definitely going to help as well if they're up front. Just because obviously it's going to be easier to miss a crash if you're further up front than you're at the back, basically.
Yeah, and we saw that yesterday. How many new drivers? Starkiev wins the race, but how many new drivers where we were like, oh, we really want to see how they do in their first start, and we didn't get to see much of them because they just happened to be at the back for one of the early massive accidents. So there's your proof there, and Continental for these drivers that in the front, like, you got to make this count. You do.
Yeah.
There's no getting around that you have to make this type of race count, because there's no telling what could happen to the people behind you. Heck, Yenfi Yanaga starting in 30th. I don't know who started 30th in the Continental race. I'm not going to look it up, and I'd recommend not doing it for the sake of things. But I'm pretty sure they didn't finish as high up as they think. I think they probably got caught up in one of the earlier crashes.
I mean,
So,
if you're,
so yeah, that's a good enough. I mean, who did?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
of course. You know what? Hold on. No, this is funny. This is ironic. I say that. Guess it's the person who started 30th in Continental with Cassidy Jones.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
I was gonna say that you had a similar what do you call it, pattern emerge in Auto Club, because that was in a cup race. That, I mean, if you look at the winner of the lot started in 32nd, so it's not a given.
yep,
It's not a
no,
given if you're starting out. If you can get through the initial flurry of wrecks that may or may not happen, it's you can still fight your way back up to the top. And speaking of fighting their way to the top, one driver that I pay attention to, that I might be paying attention to closely in this race, is based on Yiria, who finished sixth. Who finished sixth at Auto Club. Uh, she finished sixth 3 times this season already, and has had a bit of an up and down season, but has had a quite sorry, but has been putting things a bit more consistently as of late. 12th, 16th, 11th in the last 3 races. She's starting kind of in the midfield, I think. Let me double check that.
yeah, she's
She's
outside
starting
like
in
row.
22nd. Yeah, there you go. She's kind of starting in that midfield. Might be a wild card to look out for. She's definitely one of those drivers that's trying to run back the early success she had. And this is one of the tracks that she ran pretty well at, this 2 mile oval. She ran pretty well at Auto Club. We'll see if that translates to a success here in Michigan. Any final words on the grid before we hand it over to the booth, Eddie?
I'm just gonna say I'm excited to see what happens. We don't have any guess the right word is we don't have any like hometown favorites to really talk about. Actually, I feel like it'd be hard if your hometown track was Michigan, because anyone can win Michigan. But I'm excited to see what happens at the start of this, because you look at the first 4 rows and it's 2 drivers who have won already, and 2 drivers who need a great, then 2 rows of drivers who need a great race, and then Mika Harina and Haley Zukovic make up row 4, who are teammates but also drivers who are pretty far ahead in terms of the cut line. I believe they also both have wins, actually. Oh, does the 32 have a win? Am I going
32?
insane?
32 has 2 wins, yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, no, it isn't. Harina's actually.
Harina
So we
won
have
with
drivers.
win, yeah.
There's this weird sandwich of 4 drivers in rows 1 and 4 who are doing pretty well against
It's Malixon and
against
Harina,
4
I think, the
drivers
ones you're
in
talking about.
the middle of that sandwich.
Yeah.
That yeah.
I'm pretty
That
sure.
really need
I'm pretty sure that's the ones you're thinking of.
Yeah, I figured it out. Finally. But and then between the bread of that sandwich is 4 drivers who desperately need a good start. So this start's going to be a really interesting one, based on how aggressive we're going to see these people drive through, especially turn 4 for the first time. So we don't expect a lap 1, or at least first 5-lap crash, but if it does happen, I would suspect that it might come from the front of the racetrack, because I think there's going to be some difference in motivation up there, and it's just going to be interesting to see how that plays out. So yeah, we will find out.
All right, and with that, we'll take it over to the booth. Echo and I believe Anthony will be taking over the commentary race for today's race. Hope you enjoy the show, and we'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, and welcome here to the Michigan International Speedway here from beautiful Brooklyn, Michigan, in the state of Michigan for, I've said Michigan way too many times, for the Henry Ford Health 400 here from this 2-mile D-shaped oval in the Irish Hills. This is a very, very fast and difficult track to tame, but this is going to be a very fun race, very similar to Auto Club, but its track is even faster than we're going to see out of Auto Club. You're going to see some really high speeds here. I'm joined here in the booth tonight by Anthony McClure. Anthony, you were here for Daytona. You haven't been back since, but you're back now. So, hello, Anthony. How are you doing, and what do you expect for tonight?
I'm doing fine. But, Michigan, how about it? It's a pretty cool track. I know this Michigan pretty well. I've used it sometimes in our leagues here and there. You'll see like a lot of speed. Sometimes you'll see 3 wide, maybe even 4 wide. Sometimes on the front stretch. It's crazy. It can be crazy. Sometimes that'll lead to big wrecks. I've had that happen before. Or sometimes you'll get strategy, fuel mileage maybe. But it's a very fun track. Michigan is a very fun track, and I'm excited to see what happens today.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a very fun race. All right, let's go through your starting grid. Row 1, it is Mauricia Webel starting on the pole alongside Bria Delade. Row 2 is the 8 of Lowry Schliesenbach and the 92 of Mikkel Yatica. I forgot to mention that Bria Delade won back at Auto Club earlier in the season alongside her win at Road America. Webelst won in Las Vegas, which is also a track that runs fairly similarly. Row 3, Carly Byrne and Alicia Byrne, the Byrne sisters sharing that row. Row 4, it's the 34 Mika Harina and the 62 of Halis Jukovic, the Daytona 500 winner. Row 5, the 96 Angeli Rugatino and the 52 of Rachel Cole. Row 6 is the 23 of Yahi Malikson and the 18 of Perry Alicantes, who won at Denver. Another pretty similar track. Row 7, the 93 Irenia Tosima and the 20 of DeGavi Gabriella. Row 8 is Abby Little and Janet Parkings. Row 9, the 60 Emery Wesco and the 3 of Mimi Verino. Row 10, the 15 of Tabrizi Toleron and the 39 of Lily Talberson. Row 11, the 19, Arlen Handstrom and the 82 of Paisley Yeria. Row 12, the 31, Taylor Happerman and the 64, Jocelyn Yanahale, the points leader. Row 13, the 2 of Isa Ijavida and the 32 of Cindy Rariston. Row 14, the 38 of Youngwei Koo and the 13 of Yanni Waterton. Row 15, the 27 of Nietzsche Garnston and the 46 of Yenfi Yanaga. Row 16, the 16 of Sky and Jetta and the 21 of Amani Wandayo. Row 17 is the 1 of Alicia Vancy and the 42 Mika Gennaro. Row 18 are last week's winner at Mo Sport, Ava Ajarsaraj in the 98, and the winner back at Charlotte, the 22 of Andrea Davison. Row 19, the 6 of Jamie McJasmine and the 10 of Audie Stoneman. And row 20, the 26 of Sophie Chantasse and the 17 of Dira Reister. So, it'll be a fairly interesting race. It's going to be a... there's a strong field of candidates to win this one. There's a pretty strong wind coming from the north, as opposed to the last couple days in practice and qualifying where we've had winds coming from the east into turn 4. So they've kind of been blown up the track on turn 4's exit. What do you think? What do you think we might see in this one?
Well, like I said in the intro, going to see high speeds, a lot of passing for the lead. It's kind of like a Daytona or Talladega, but a bit of a smaller scale. Sometimes, it's a very interesting mix of like sometimes a mile and a half, sometimes a super speedway, but it's a very fun track. You'll see a mix of strategy, a mix of a lot of passing, and some big crashes from time to time. Should be a very exciting race today, all things considered.
All right, well, let's go ahead and go down to the grid and get them the command to start engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
And the command's been given. So 200 laps here from Michigan. This is going to be a pretty decent, it's going to be a decently long race. Not as long as Auto Club was. Auto Club was about 250 laps. This race is just 200. So they've chopped off about 100. We've chopped off 100 miles from the distance back at Auto Club. You think that's going to give these drivers a little more urgency at the start, or you think we're going to see, maybe a little bit more relaxed atmosphere?
I think we're gonna see. Well, I'm not sure how these drivers are gonna handle Michigan, so hopefully it's a more calmer condition because strategy is fun, but we'll see here, especially with the pole sitter, as we get underway.
Green flag, we're racing here in Michigan. Vebels with the jump on the start.
We already see maybe some 3-wide action behind. Almost. Haven't quite gotten three wide yet. I spoke too soon. Here comes the 9 of
Carly Byrne is looking.
Byrne.
We'll stay green on
Byrne
the first
was peeking
lap.
down low.
Couple cars peeking down low, down with the apron.
Oh,
4
boy.
wide. 5
4
wide.
Oh, goodness gracious. For a second.
Just for a split second, they went
Oh.
5 wide. This track is so wide that you can just barely make that you can make that work down the front straightaway, but you don't want to make it work for very long.
Yeah, no, I've seen some bad wrecks coming out of turn 2. Just, it tightens up a bit in the corners. Oh, good lord. They are just on the edge right now. They are just so close. It could... It's just... It's
The
a bit scary,
96
but it's exciting.
The 96 was partly on the apron in the corner there, trying to... She just didn't have enough room to get down.
Very aggressive start for some of these drivers. They want to get through the field as quick as they can.
Very aggressive start, and the field is led by Marisha Vebelst, so I guess that's not... I guess it's fitting. Although, surprisingly, Marisha's made the least amount of moves. Granted, that's
surprised it's
because...
not her.
I mean, I guess it's because she started from the pole, so she was already leading.
Look at the 92 trying to get second. So the other Byrne.
The other Byrne? Oh, yeah, Alicia in the 91. I thought you were saying the other
Alicia.
Byrne was the 92.
No. My bad.
No, that is actually my bad. But, I appreciate the want to take responsibility anyways.
Nuh-uh.
Okay. There's Janet Parkins in the 72, trying to drive her way up through the field. Pretty clean start, which I think a lot of people are kind of surprised about. Well, I don't know if
Something
it was
might have
that.
happened?
Okay, it might have not been that clean.
May have
I
not
think
have been
something
that
there.
clean.
I think there might have been something back here that just didn't bring out a yellow. Like
Yeah,
Jasmine
that-
Avanci, Garnston, Wesco appear too.
'60 also heading to pit road. That is...
I believe that. Hold on. Okay, that appears to be an unscheduled stop actually for the 60. We'll see if we can get some word on that one. Not sure if it's damage or if something went mechanically wrong with the car. We'll see though.
That's a bit unfortunate for Wesco. Kind of near the cut line a bit. Looking to try to get her way in, as we might have a battle for the lead here.
Yeah, here comes Alicia Byrne in the 91 car.
Another driver near the cut line.
Yeah, Burns kind of below the cut line. She was up towards there battling on the cut line for a good bit, but the interesting thing why don't we watch these speeds down the front straightaway and down the back straightaway as well, because these drivers, they have a pretty strong tailwind down the front stretch.
Almost 200 down the back stretch.
They were 199 at their peak down the back. They're already 200 midway down the
my
front
goodness.
straightaway. Look at this.
208, 209,
209.
101. Goodness.
Russia, what happened to the 60?
Yeah, I think the proverbial check engine light came on the 60 of AWSCO's car because she was told to bring she was told to bring the car in pretty early on there by the crew. It took a look under the hood for some kind of engine problem. They don't quite know what it is just yet, but they've sent her back out to kind of give her a few extra shakedown laps just to make sure everything's running well. But that's definitely a developing situation right now for the Golf racing car.
Remember, she kind of slotted out ahead most of the field, and she's already been cycled through by everybody. They've all gotten around, so.
Berna's really trying to fight Vebbelst here, but she really can't get on the inside right now. Maybe some arrow blocking by the 99. Great defense by her.
Clean air woman.
Clean air merchant.
Oh, we got a crash in the back.
Uh-oh.
It's Reister. Shantasei, Tolaron appears to be involved. Youngwei Ku. And our first caution's out on lap number 10.
Yeah, that was pretty big.
Looks like Davieson's got damage. Fairly interesting. We went about 10 laps. We went 10 laps here without seeing a yellow, but it's come out now. So the yellow flag is out after 9 laps, I guess. After 9 laps here at Michigan, and most of the field's going to be coming down pit road here. Looks like Rachel Cole's chosen to stay out, but. A few cars are taking 4 tires. A few cars are taking 2 tires. I think the 91's gonna get out because she took. I think the 91 took 2. I saw the 99 taking 4 tires though.
Interesting mix of strategy already.
AWSCO in the 60 car is going to get the free pass. Where is she? There she is. That car is pretty well off the pace, though, so I'm not sure how long she's going to be able to hold that lap back that she's just got. Alright, well, what happened? Oh, we had a car upside down.
Oh, no. Oh, dear.
Paceland Yeria looks like Perry Alicantes. Yeria just gets into the 18. Yeria's around. Tolaron into by 26 and upside down the front straightaway.
A little bit of a tumble. Oh, goodness.
Well, shouldn't be that surprising to say, but Tolaron is out of the race. Usher, what's up?
Yeah, tire wear concerns are definitely afoot right now, but not in the way you think. Mostly because teams are trying to navigate the way around the initial fall off that happens on the tires. But as I mentioned as I mentioned in the pre-race show, these tires do tend to plateau after the initial wear off, and that's something that teams like the 52 and the other teams that took 2 tires. If you look at, say, the 91 and 92, those teams, I believe, also took 2. I think some of these teams are looking around and trying to experiment their way, trying to see how they can manage the tire wear patterns over the rest of the race and see how that might affect things if you get a short run at the end of the race or a situation like that. It'll be interesting to see how 0 tires fares, though, as Rachel Cole just straight up did not come in to take any tires or fuel, and that's something that I think other teams will be keen to look at to see if there's any valuable data that they can take from this for the rest of the race.
Much cleaner start than yesterday's race. In fact, that makes me think that maybe we might see a little bit less. We might see more long runs. Green flag, here we go. We're back to racing here from Michigan.
Good jump there by Cole.
Yeah, Cole with a pretty decent start there.
Oh, big checkup there for a second. Kind of a calm restart. A lot of 2 wide, not a lot of 3 wide. Probably to be expected with the single file restart. Oh, there's some 3 wide action there.
Yeah, they're starting to fan out a little bit. I think it takes them about a lap or 2, but they'll start to fan out.
Yeah.
Cole out front still. Here comes Yatica, trying to pull away from the 91 here, and now maybe try and pull up ahead of the 52.
Almost there for a second. Ooh. And now they're side by side. Oh, goodness, a little.
Cole's still hanging on to the lead. I mean, looks like No Tires are also hanging on pretty well for that 52. So that might be something. Whoa, Abby Little just shoved her way through the on the outside lane there. But I'm thinking, you know, maybe No Tires might be a way to go here. It might be pretty valuable.
Abby's car seems all over the place.
Burn Sisters fighting here for that position, for that third spot right now, as Marisha Bevels is trying to take it away from both of them. Yatika's trying to drive through the 52 right now.
Oh, we almost got 4 wide. Oh, now we got 4 wide, almost 5 wide with the 20. Sliding up a bit. Oh my goodness.
Carly Byrne trying to get around Michele Yatica.
At least you can say one of the Burns is up in second.
Yeah, Carly's up here. She's trying to close in and try and take the lead away from Cole.
Haven't been a lot of battles for the lead yet. Think maybe that's because of the wind, perhaps? On
It
the
could
front
be.
stretch?
Oh, we're seeing Carly Byrne go for it now.
Maybe spoke a bit too soon on that.
And you
Got
spoke
a good run.
And you spoke it into existence. She's got it.
Commentator's jinx. What can I say?
Well, yeah, but the commentator's jinx actually helped us out this time.
Yeah. Here comes Yatica and Vepelst. Almost 3 wide for the lead for a second. Carly is trying to hang on the outside. Yatsuka's got it, though. New leader.
92 now out front. Not even sure the 9 car led a lap.
Looks like she's trying to fight back. Oh my goodness, Abby Little. Every time I see her, it seems like she's sliding up the racetrack. It seems like it's working for her right now, despite that car seeming a bit, I don't know, loose, tight, not sure what it's doing, but it's working out for her. She's up to third, maybe trying to get second on the outside.
I did not even notice Abby Little got all the way up here. She is... That 71 car is on the move right now.
Uh-oh. 60.
Hello, lap car.
Goodness, she's slow. And she's gonna slow up Yatica. Oh, outside lane in trouble.
It's fine. Carly Byrne back out front.
And 23 making up positions. McJasmina and...
There's McJasmina.
Rio. Oh, no, I read that wrong. My fault. Who is in the 23?
That's Malikson.
Okay.
That is Yappy Malikson in who's moved up to 4th spot. Abby Little's 5th.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
Yappy.
How about Sky and Jetta in 6th, battling with Abriella. Good shout out to Gabby Abriella as well, actually having a pretty solid run now. Something that team has been struggling to get.
And Jetta trying to beat her teammate for a playoff position right now.
Yeah. She's
She's
ahead
the
of
last
Yannick
car
right
out.
now.
Yeah.
99 around for 2nd. So Vebelst trying to make quick work of the field here. She's just got 1 car ahead of her to get back to the lead, and it's her teammate.
Carly. Bevels looks like she's got a fast car, though, all things considered.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, start on pole.
Side by side down the back stretch. Still got momentum on the inside. Ooh. Drag race to the line. Who's going to lead it? Going to be Carly. Just barely. Might be able to clear Vevelston to turn 1. Nope, not quite. Or excuse me, yes, she will. But Vevelst isn't one to give up easily. She's going to fight back on the inside, helped by Abby Little. Oh, Little deciding not to help anymore. She tried the inside, but there's no room. She had to check up. Now, this is where the racing gets good. Here comes the 20. That being Gabrielle. I already forgot her name, sorry. 4 wide for 3rd for a second.
Jeez. They are going all over the place. Vebelst is going to try to clear Burns. Can't quite get there just yet.
Can't quite. Not yet. Oh man, they're both fighting hard for the lead.
I think Burns going to lead this lap though. Going to have that run on the high side. And Jetta's trying to get up on the outside of the 99.
Trying to take advantage of it. Oh, almost turned Vebels for a second.
That 99's just sticking with her though. The 99's getting a lot better runs on the bottom of the track than I've seen really many other drivers be able to do.
Yeah, she's consistently staying on the inside line. It's somehow working out for her so far. But looks like she'll give up the lead to Carly for now. I got the 42 joining the fray. That is
Make a Gennaro.
I wish the sheet was in numerical order instead of last names. I'm not gonna lie. Vebels once again trying to get the lead on the inside. As we almost had 3 wide. We do have 3 wide, almost 4 wide. As Little's falling back a bit to Cole and Jetta. Looks like Vebels might have the run here to finally clear her teammate. Not quite. Byrne is really using the outside lane to her advantage to hold on to this lead. And here comes Jetta, clearing for 3rd. She might join this battle here soon. Vebels.
And a car's in the wall. Cole. Yanniga as well.
Yanniga. Oh, and huge collision there.
Oh! Byrne and Garnston.
Goodness.
Caution's out, obviously.
Goodness gracious. That was bad. A lot of smoke on the front stretch as everybody heads to pit road.
Pretty much everybody's coming down pit road. I imagine this is going to be 4 tires and fuel for everybody. Pretty long stop for the
Abby
99.
Little.
Very long stop for the 99.
Very long.
Abby Little gets out of pit road first.
Something happened in the 99? Hopefully. Hopefully nothing happened.
What happens to Cole? Does she just clear herself? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yanniga gets into her. A lot of these cars just can't get slowed down. Yukovic has nothing. Byrne got bumped right into Garnston's path. I don't think there was anything that Garnston could have done.
Yeah, that's just not much you can do there with Byrne making contact with I think that was Cole,
I believe
and
that was
just
Cole, yeah.
in the path of the 27.
Ellie, what happened? What's up on the 52?
So the 52 took some pretty bad aerodynamic damage. Her pit crew's really worried it's going to significantly impact her performance and the general handling. So there's a general fear they might retire the car.
That car was really slow trying to come back to the pit road, so...
Yeah, that car just barely made it to pit road somehow.
Yeah.
It was crawling.
Well, Abby Little leads the way here as we're under caution from Michigan. Second caution of the day. Misha Vebels. Where did Vebels drop back to? Because she dropped back quite a bit. She's back in 22nd now. And I think that 99 is definitely the fastest car right now because she... Okay. Because she's been driving through the field pretty much every time she's come down, so... Every time
Maybe
she's gotten shuffled back, she's driven through the field. So, I think we might want to watch how Vebels drives through the field here. But it's Little and Jetta, Talberson and Byrne out front. 52 retired for no fuel. I think that they might have knocked the fuel cell loose.
Fuel line loose.
Yeah, maybe. Did get drilled pretty hard from the back end by the 91, I think. All right, well, pace car is off. Green flag. Cars are still running, and all on the lead lap.
Oh, great start by Carly here. The GSR cars look like they're pretty fast right now. At least Carly and Bevel Star.
You mean ERR?
Yeah, my fault.
Yeah. Yeah, your fault.
Force of habit.
Yeah, fair enough. Little holds on. It's Sanjetta, then it's Talberson, Stoneman, and Byrne.
Haven't seen much of Talberson.
Yeah, she's been slowly making her way through the field.
So I guess add Talberson to the ERR list. They brought some fast cars today.
Carly Byrne as well should get the shout. I mean, she's struggled quite a bit this season, but this is a great race. This has been a very good race for her so far.
Yeah, 100%. She needs all the points she can get. It's not over till it's over, as they say.
Points leader Jocelyn Nahil right here in the middle of this group. There's Michele.
Here comes Angetta.
16 car looking for the race lead.
Oh, here comes Carly Byrne.
Three
trying to go for
wide.
the lead. 3 wide.
3 wide for the race lead as the 9 car is trying to take it.
Oh, here comes Talberson, too. Here comes the 42 as well. It's getting intense.
How about back here? There's where Vevelst is. They're 4 wide here, back in this portion of the pack.
She's trying to make her way to the lead.
Carly Byrne's got into second, and Jetta could not get to the lead, and she's actually dropped back to 4th now. We see Carly Byrne trying to drive through, trying to get underneath Little. And she is there to the inside. It's been pretty, not publicized very much, but Evans Auto Racing has been on that chase for the 50th win of in the team's organizational history, and I think Carly Byrne would love to be one of the drivers that gets them closer to it. Byrne leads this lap.
Oh, she just barely led that lap. And here comes a 64. That's a... Nihale.
Yeah, not Jocelyn Nihale. Points leader coming into this event.
Oh, Carly slides up a bit. That's going to allow Little to get to the inside. And we're side by side for the lead again. Little just barely leads at the line. 4 wide for fourth for a second.
Just, yeah, for a bit there. Here comes the 64. Look at this 64 car. She's on the move as well.
And this is what I was talking about with Michigan. Just a lot of passing everywhere you look.
Yeah, it's really difficult to get.
Exciting stuff.
It's really difficult to get on the bottom, to make that move stick on the bottom. Here, Carly Byrne looking. Is she going to try and go 3 wide middle? No, she doesn't do it.
No, she's got no room. Maybe on the inside.
Nihale leaves
She's
at
not
the line.
thinking about it.
64
Not thinking
car.
about it.
They're going to be 5
wide
wide behind with
Vebels.
Vebels. That's about the
else?
most on point Vebels move I have seen.
Not a shock to anyone, as here comes Carly Byrne for the lead again.
Carly Byrne in the 9 car. Trying to get that run. She's got Delod now pulling up, trying to push her. But Jocelyn Nihale, who came in this race as the points leader, doesn't have a win yet this year. But she has been the most consistent driver all season. But here comes the 55 of Bria Delod. Winner back at California earlier in the season. She's looking to make up. She's looking to get another win. Looking for her, what would be her 3rd win of the year. And there's our last week's winner, Eva Jarsaraj in the 98 car.
Oh, here goes the outside lane. Getting held up by the 31. 2 new drivers out front. That's being Delade and
Gennaro. Delade and
Gennaro.
Six car at McJasmine on pit road unscheduled. How about one of those cars involved in that early incident on lap 10? Perry Alicantes? Look at where she is. She's in the top 10 now.
Yeah, she's making her way back.
Yeah, she's looking very solid right now. But Jasmine back out on track. As we are 50 laps down here in Michigan. 50 laps have been completed. Delod, Gennaro, Little, Stoneman, Barino, Ajarsaraj, Alicantes, Nihale, Waterton, and the battle for 10th here is between Harina and Ijavida. Ellie, what happened to the 6 of McJasmina?
So, Jasmine, she's just getting some tires done because it looked like wear and heat eventually caused one of her tires, or maybe multiple tires, to go down. So they're just trying to hurry that up. Hopefully she doesn't get held back too far.
She's dropped a lap. She is a lap down, but if she can get at least, I guess, if she can get a little bit of luck, and she could get back on the lead lap with the free pass eventually. Catching the 46 of Yanaga here.
Yanaga's still running. Huh. Not very fast, though. thought she was about to hold up her teammate for a second, but it looks like everybody will manage to get by.
98 didn't get by very cleanly. Well, I guess she did get by clean, but...
It looks like it's starting to spread out now, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's partly due to the 31 kind of splitting everybody up, but...
Yeah, definitely. And maybe, I don't know where McJasmine was, but maybe she held up some people going on to pit road.
It's very possible. That might be why the 99's dropped so far back here in this group, because the 99 has really slid back. She's behind a car with quite a bit of damage in the 21. May have a move for the lead here, because here comes Gennaro.
Oh,
And the 42
not
car.
yet.
Gonna pull. She's got the inside. But the problem is now, when you're on the inside, especially if you get pinched down like this, it's just
Yeah,
really hard to
you
get
can
that run off.
slide up easier.
How about last week's winner, Ajarasraj? 2 wins this year, both on road courses. She won at Willow Springs and then at Mosport. Looking for her first win on an oval.
She's looking pretty fast today.
Yeah. Remember, she finished second at Charlotte a couple weeks ago. Well, yeah, it was like 3 weeks ago, yeah.
Oh well. Very impressive run by the Hungarian, I guess.
Yeah, she's been doing pretty solid. Been doing good learning the ovals this year. Because obviously that's something that she's not super familiar with. She hasn't been super familiar with in her career, but... she's up here now, trying to drive through, but she slips up there for third. That lets Little underneath. Bria Delade, though, she won at Fontana. She won at California earlier in the season. And she's leading here in Michigan in that 55 UPS car. That Ford. Yeah, Ford Power leading the Ford race here in Michigan. I think that's something that they'll be very, very happy with.
Yeah, Ford is very prideful on their Michigan roots, I guess you could say. And they would really love to win here at Michigan, of course. And so far they got three of the four drivers in the top 10 are Ford drivers, so that's pretty good. Or top 5. Words are hard.
That's 3 of the top 5, because the 3 is in 5th, and that's a Mercedes. Well, the 18 is close.
Yeah, the 18's pretty close as well. Well, y'all know what I mean anyways.
Ajarasraj back around the 71 for third. Little fighting with Barrino, that's for 4th. You got Nihil fighting Alicantes for 6th. 8th place right here, there's Stoneman. And then this group is a couple seconds back. Talberson and Schliesenbach leading this pack.
A lot of the drivers that we saw up here earlier kind of falling back. And Jeddah,
Yeah.
Rebels, of course, had issues on pit road, but I don't know what happened in Jeddah.
Vebels had issues on pit road, and then she had more issues. I think she got held up by one of those lap cars. I think she either got held up by one of the lap cars or by the 6 coming to pit road.
Yeah.
Ajarasraj for second, trying to take that spot away from Gennaro.
Ooh, she had to check up a bit. Little falling back. It's like a...
The thing with Vebels that I'd like to note here is that she kind of caught up to this pack mostly by herself. She has been running by herself for a good bit, and she's still making moves in passing cars without really any aerodynamic draft help, so...
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
I mean, you could tell that the 99's very fast from that alone. About to catch more lappers. 31 again.
That 31 is...
31 is not up to pace, but...
really, really slow.
Whoa, 4 wide back here. I mean, this pack is
60
not...
in the race anymore?
What?
I was asking, is the 60 even in the race anymore?
No.
Ah.
I
So
think
now the
this...
30 is the slowest car.
Yeah, 31 is the slowest car right now. 9 car went 4 wide
Yeah,
down
31.
there.
Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted that. Anyways. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Hello, Hello, Taylor Happerman.
But
I remember Happerman
it's
who
not
won
sure
back.
why.
Remember Happerman won it back in Texas, so she does have some
Or
experience
Josh
running on
Ross.
these tracks.
Thought she was about to get slowed up here, but that kind of helped her. She's closed up to the back bumper of the leader, looking inside.
For the lead goes the 98.
Delotti's just gonna barely lead the lap. Side by side. Delotti's still fighting back on the outside, though, down the backstretch. And shout out the 18.
Very Alicantes.
Alicantes.
Alicantes in the 18 car.
Alicantes.
There you go, you got it. You gotta say you gotta say Delad for the 55. It's not Delade.
Delad.
Yeah, it's
My
Delad.
fault.
Yeah, there's no A. .31 is getting in the way of this group, though. That's actually let the 99 gain a lot of spots. She's actually up into 13th now. 98 is stuck on the bottom lane, and these cars are now
Whoa.
starting to try to freight train her, but 64 is going to give her a little push on the bottom. Never mind.
Nope, 64 is not helping anybody.
Nobody's helping anybody. They're looking at 4 wide there.
Yeah. Almost 4 wide again. That's gonna let
The 98.
Delod pull away here somewhat.
98's going to stay in second. I thought she was going to lose that spot, but then they all started kind of going all over the place there.
Yeah, they started battling each other. Ford 1-2-3 now though.
Yeah, how about that? And the Henry Ford Health 400, it's a Ford 1-2-3. That's a statistic they're going to be happy with, because there's the Mason Parker cars, but there's 2 Mason Parker cars up there, but they're being led by one of the Dark Horse Racing drivers, Bria Delade.
Well, that 1-2-3 didn't last, but whatever.
Yeah, now the Honda's up here.
And
Yeah,
it
this is
should've-
about this is the first time we're really seeing a home race for the manufacturers. I mean, this is where Ford and Chevy would call their home race. So those two going to be having a little bit of a battle. We'll be at Lausitzring in a few weeks. That's where Mercedes is from. They're from Germany, and then we'll be in Motegi in Japan, where Honda and Toyota are based out of.
I mean, Toyota, I guess maybe you could consider Kentucky, I think, a home race, kind of.
I mean, Fontana as well, because TRD has a
Yeah.
big base out in the LA area.
Yeah, that too. But they are Japanese, so.
Yeah. And I mean, same for Honda.
Mm-hmm.
98 car looking to the inside again on Delod. Just not really pulling up with very much clear track, though.
Maybe she just doesn't have a fast enough car to get the lead. But she's really trying. She's trying hard. And she
got a
might
good
lead
run.
this lap.
She got a good run there. But the
Gonna be close at
64...
the line.
64 stuck up top with the 55, though.
Yeah, that kind of helped the 55 a bit.
That helped the 55 get momentum.
Mm-hmm.
These two still going to be side by side. From Nihale, if you're Nihale, you've already led the lap, but she's going for that win. She still hasn't won a race yet this season, and if something is to happen that drops her out of the points lead, I mean, a win would be much better than not having one. Especially if we have more than 20 winners.
You never know.
Back here, they're battling even harder. There's Alicante's trying to take the third spot from Nihale. Vebels just actually made her way to the front of this pack, but it's going to be an uphill battle for her, I think, to make her way through, to make her way up to this group, because they're about 3 seconds ahead of her. They've caught the 46 once again.
Uh-oh.
If you're that 6 car, you just hoping there's a caution that comes out so you can get your lap back. Because she's first car a lap down. In fact, I believe she's the only car one lap that scored exactly 1 lap down now. So if you're that 6 car, do you want a caution?
Yeah, obviously you do. Get the wave around, get back on the lead lap. But she's kind of off sequence as well, but of course maybe a caution will fix that as
46 really stacked up a lot of cars over here.
yeah.
Oh no, that wasn't the 46. That was somebody else. Somebody
Maybe they just did that.
somebody stacked up a bunch of cars.
Maybe they just
I did
felt
see
like
the
that.
31 come down pit road, so I believe we are going to see the pit cycle start fairly soon. I mean, it's been about 40 laps. Jarsaraj dives to the inside once again on the 55.
These ladies have a lot of fight. They do not give up easily. And Jarsaraj isn't one to give up.
Yeah, that's no surprise to many.
Uh-oh.
Finally going to get clear of the 64.
31.
Stay clear of the 64. There's the 31 of Happeman. Just came off the pit road.
Oh, whoa! Where is she going? She's gonna slow up everybody behind the 55.
I think she went low because the 55 went high, and that stacked up everybody else.
Not bad timing. These lap cars are really spreading out the field, though.
They are.
Here it comes.
Fight for third here. Gennaro and Nihale. Barino as well in this mix. Remember, Barino finished in 8th
Auto Club?
Auto Club, yeah. And I mean, Perry Alicantes' one win as well came at Denver, which fairly similar track. Got a little less banking and it's got a little longer straightaways, but
Yeah, totally.
as the mix is back here, further back. There's the fight for ninth right there. Parking's Schlissenbach and Javid are in that, and Vebels is kind of closing up on that as well.
Vamos is almost back into the top time.
Yeah,
Top 10.
it's kind of been where she's been stuck though. It's kind of right back here. Maria Delade.
Ajasaraj. She
98
just
is
will not go away.
yeah, she's been closing up pretty big. I think part of it may just be, you know, the draft is pretty key here. It's pretty big to have to have a draft here, but Ajasaraj definitely looks like she's a car that could be faster than the 55. And now she's going to try and take the lead, and she's got nobody pushing the 55. She's got it at the line. I'm seeing some cars start to come down pit road, the 21 and the 1.
Oh, she's almost got the lead, finally.
She's almost clear, but just can't get there.
Almost.
55
Might
has
have a chance.
had the momentum on the
No.
top side, but
Nihil is really... Oh, they almost made contact.
oh, she's pitting. She's
Oh,
coming
she
down pit
is.
road. Green flag cycles beginning. Ajar Siraj, Little's in. Parkings is down. There's Harina. There's Carly Byrne.
Burns got some front end damage. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah. It's a bit interesting.
Maybe that's why she fell back.
I think maybe now if I'm the 98, I'm hoping that I can maybe undercut the 55 here. On fresh tires. Alicantes and Barino are in.
Barino. Mike almost fell.
Is that on your end?
Yeah, it was me being dumb.
55 really slid up the track. Here comes Nihale.
I think the 55 got affected by the 1 there for a second.
I think so.
Yeah. 1 being...
I believe she's coming down pit
Fancy.
road this time. Yep. Delade's going to be in. Here comes Nihale to follow. There's Gennaro, Javida, and Schlissenbach are all coming in. I think pretty much everybody's coming in here.
Viva Italia.
Okay, the 96, I believe, was the lap car that stacked everybody up.
Little staying out for another lap.
No, Little already came in. She came in on the first
Oh,
lap
my
with,
fault.
with the 98.
I forgot.
98 jumps the 18 here. Well, let's see where these other cars cycle out. There's the 55 of Delade.
55. Oh, close off a pit road.
She did stay ahead of the 64, but now what I'm going to be watching, watch this battle, watch the race out of pit, watch them get up to speed off pit road. And I think the 98 may actually just have a little bit more. Yes, yes she will.
Yes she does. She's got it. Just barely.
Ajar Siraj takes the lead after the pit cycle. Through the pit cycle, the 98 now in front. 54 is 55 second. How about Abby Little up into third?
54. Hey, that's me.
64.
Alright, anyways.
Fight for second here.
Look at Abby
Little's
Little.
just taken second away from Delod.
Man, Delod and Niall, they really did not get up to speed that quick. And they're going to lose 2 positions from that.
Yeah. In fact, Delod may actually end up losing third here to Nihale. Delod, who looked like she had a car to beat on that last run.
Looks like Delod will hang on for now. But back in third. Not the most ideal place to be, but she can probably recover.
There's Rigatino in the 96. There are a lot of Fords up here. This has been the Ford race so far. And there's a Chevy, though, in battling for one of those spots, because Audie Stoneman is there in 5th. Hopefully, Audie doesn't have the mech fail that takes her out. Battle for 10th right here. There is Vebels going for the spot on a Javida.
There she is.
Which has really been shuffled back through the field, and I think that it may take something like a yellow flag to get her back up towards the front again. As we got to fight for the lead, because here comes Abby Little in the 71 car. Look at the lots closed up on this as well, so this is about 3 or 4 cars right here.
Delod might get second on the outside. Not quite. Can't really use the outside line to pass. You can use it to defend.
I mean, we've seen a couple cars use the outside to get around some other cars. But, it is much harder to make a pass up there than it is to just hold the car off from behind. Jar Siraj still leads. Little, Delod, Nihale. I think part of it could also be, you know, the best spot for passing in yesterday's race, in the Continental race, was the exit of turn 4. It's a lot harder to do that because of the wind blowing down the back straightaway. That's helping these cars, that's helping the cars up on the high side get the momentum. You see Nihale going around a lot on the outside.
Nihale finally got back into 3rd place. Little peeking a little bit, trying to get the lead, but thinks better of it. Stays behind the 98.
Little trying to get underneath this. Everybody goes up to the high side.
Good run, but Nihale just deciding to stick on the outside line, not really helping anybody on the inside, really. Maybe the car set up for the outside instead, and she might get second as Little slides up a bit. Gonna get a good run on the front stretch.
Yeah, the 64 is going to get a great run on the top side.
Yeah.
And she's going to get to second. Takes advantage of that 71 just losing the momentum. Whoa, the 72's just blown up in the middle of this group. Janet Parkings. That's a difficult end of the day for the driver who came in third in points.
That sucks. Hopefully she can make it back around.
Oh, we got a crash.
Oh, trouble!
Javeda and Harina have gone around. Waterton's blown up as well. Caution is out.
What is going on? Oil on the racetrack everywhere, I guess.
13's blowing up as well. That was 2 engine failures in 1 lap. Well, there's the caution I think that a lot of these cars needed. Well, everybody's going to be down pit road, unsurprisingly. Funny enough, Jenny McJasmina, actually, she was off cycle, but remember she had pitted? So she stayed out longer. She's actually gotten back on the lead lap from that. So the 6 car is back on the lead lap now.
Back on the lead lap and back on strategy, it seems like. Oh, don't do that.
There's a bit of contact in pit road. 96 of Rigatino should be the free pass car here. Three car wins the race out. Bit of a shuffle on strategy.
It's like a lot of maybe 2 tire stops.
I think there was a lot of 2 tire stops, yeah. I think 2 tires can benefit you. I'm not sure how good it'll be in the long run, 2 tires, but in the short run and for staying up at the front, I think that you know, track position is going to be very key. We've seen it's pretty difficult to make that move for the lead once the pack gets strung out.
Rigatoni.
It's Rigatino.
I don't care.
Okay.
I'm hungry.
Okay. Go get something to eat then.
No.
Okay.
I just wanted to make that joke.
Ellie, what's up on the 72 parkings?
So it looks like her gearbox went, which is pretty tragic for her, given, like you said, she was 3rd in points going into this race. Looks like they're gonna have to retire her. I mean, hopefully not.
Let's go back and see what happened. There's parkings blowing up. Parkings and Waterton were like right next to each other. So parkings blows up, and then, you know, half a lap later, this is where the caution is. There's the 13 blowing up.
13 blows up.
Oh, yep.
Whoa, what was that? 32.
34.
34, not 32, sorry.
Got into the 2 of Javeda. Javeda nosed it into the inside wall. Didn't look like she hit it too hard.
Yeah, just barely nosed it in. Should be fine, theoretically.
Should probably be okay. So Barrino won the race out of pit road. Looks like a fair few cars just took a little bit different strategy. Barrino went with the right side tires. So fairly interesting. We got a bit of a strategic game going on here. Now that this caution has come out, you know, 3rd caution of the day. Still got quite a bit of the field in the race. All right. Well, let's get through this Let's get through the grid here for the restart. Top 10. It is Barino, Stoneman, Handstrom, and Jetta, Yuria, Ajarsraj, Alicante, Schliesenbach, Little, and Towerson. No wave rounds because there are no lap cars in between the top 10.
Oh.
We got 26 cars still on the lead lap here. All right, well, we're just about to go back to green. 95 laps complete. From Michigan, be green back here. Back green on lap 96. Green flag, here we go. And I think the interesting thing here as well is now the field's very stacked up. The field's stacked back into where they were before. I think there's going to be a fair few cars that are going to be, making their way up through, and they're going to be a lot more competitive. We're going to see. I think we're going to see a few different faces up here towards the front here.
Yeah, we see the 1982 as well. We haven't seen them all day.
Here comes Handstrom. Yeah, how about Paceland Yuri in the 82? She's up here. How about Alicantes? They're going to be 4 wide right here.
Oh boy, Alicantes. Oh, almost contact.
They are getting so close to each other right
They
here.
are getting way, way too close.
They're still managing 4 wide. I don't know how, but they are.
Yeah, they can't do this for much longer. Here comes Handstrom.
Handstrom?
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. We might be 3 wide for the lead here real quick.
Oh boy, here comes the 82.
Here comes the 98, trying to get through the field. They might be 4 wide for the lead real quick if the 3 car slides up enough.
Oh my goodness.
Ten finally will squeeze through. She had a look on the 3, but not able to do anything from it. The 2 still decent pace. The 34, I think, as well. The 34 is actually doing a pretty good job of keeping up here. Here comes Sky and Jetta. Here comes Jetta in the 16 car.
Doesn't really have help on the inside though right now, but she's trying it. Ooh. Whoa.
Whoa, the 98.
Big. Whoa, where's 98
pitting.
going?
She's pitting.
Trouble. Oh dear, that is big.
Well, that's... We'll have to see if we can get anything on that. They are all over the place over here, and we got to change for the lead.
Stoneman's taking the lead.
10 cars up at the front now. Stoneman's got the lead. Is she going to stay clear of the 3? I think she will.
Yeah, she's got it. And Jetta takes second as well, trying to go for the lead.
I think Jetta might get the lead. I don't even know if Stoneman's going to lead the lap.
Oh my goodness, what a run.
Big run
Huge
by the 16.
Run.
And Sky and Jetta now out front here in Michigan.
This is huge for her. We're halfway through, and Yannicka hasn't really... Well, she's really off the pace, and she could earn big points if she somehow wins.
Well,
Or even just leads a couple laps.
She'd be in if she wins.
But still, every point matters, even then.
Sky and Jenna now out front. Stoneman, Handstrom, Barino, Alicantes, Little, Vebels,
is back up here.
Tosima. How about Irina Tosima? How about Amani Wandayo? She's managed to get
Wandayo.
up through here. He may have another battle. Here comes the 19.
Oh, goodness
Here comes
gracious.
the 10. This is just what happens after a restart. Get a bunch of cars all stacked up, and whoa, everybody.
Oh, big checkup.
Big check up there. Taiho's really looking to get around that 18. The 18 really stacked up the field down there on the bottom lane. Let the top get away a little bit.
Whoops.
How about Irina Tosima as well in the 93? We haven't really seen her very much today.
Yeah, she's made her way through the field, and now everybody, I guess we're train racing going up to the high side, and never mind, that didn't last long. Abby Little trying to get third now, helped by
I think she'll
Tosima.
get it too.
Barina really falling back on the outside line. Well, not quite falling back yet. She got a great run down the back stretch, trying to just hang on to 4th place for now. Almost 3 wide for 4th. Alicantes.
They're fighting here
Much
for
help on the inside there.
they're fighting for position here. You got Marino trying to hold on to that spot here at the front. I mean, she got here on strategy, but she's done a pretty good job holding her own, at the very least. And Jetta's still out front, though, and staying out front. Stoneman, Little, Tosima, Barino, Vevelst, Wandayo, Alicantes, Handstrom, and Gennaro now the top 10, as Mika Gennaro's made her way back up here.
Oh, looking to the inside of Stillman.
Here comes the 10.
Stoneman, why isn't it Stone Woman?
Cuz.
Damn.
Little 3 wide to the inside.
Ooh, big checkup.
Here comes Tosima.
Big checkup.
Through the middle.
Tosima!
I thought they
Almost.
might have made contact. I thought she was going to go through the middle. Almost ran into the 16 there.
Almost turned in Jetta for a second, but
Vevel's now going to try and take third away from Stoneman.
oh dear. She's back! Ooh. Tosima is looking to the inside again. Might have a run this time off of turn 4. She does.
Just not enough of one, though. They were 4 wide back there. All right, well. We're halfway. Lap 108 right now. 107 laps complete. I think it's time we take you down to the Handle Fan Studio 4, the mid-race report with Russia and Ellie. What do you two got for us down there?
Well, we're looking right now at the battle for the lead here in the mid-race report. It's between Njeta and Tosima. It's between Njeta and Tosima right now. Oh, Horde of Mercedes creeping up too, though. Watch the 99 and 3 moving up the pack. It was for domination early on, but right now the other manufacturers are pulling their way through. As we see here, running with 100. running with 92 laps to go right now. I'm joined back with Ellie from the mid race report here. Welcome back. It's been a pretty smooth race so far, albeit some issues are starting to creep up. We had a few gearbox related, we had a few transmission related issues that caused this most recent caution, and we'll see if that's a pattern that creeps up over the next bit of time. Over the next part of the race, I think.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with some of the racing we've seen so far, especially from the 71. But she is so far back now. But a lot of cars here got a really good restart on that last caution for sure. I mean, the 3 car, even though she was climbing through the midfield earlier, she did come out of nowhere, and then that restart got her up here really high up. And then Vebels is all the way back up here too.
Yeah. Right now. Okay. Right now, it's a pretty close fight between the 93 and the 16. The 64 has joined the mix. I think that's the thing with the restarts here. We saw the field string out a little bit over that longer run, and we saw the field basically kind of split up after the green flag run. But we've kind of basically had a bit of a field reset with this restart, and now it's kind of topsy-turvy. We have cars that weren't up front running up front now, cars that were at the front running further back, but they're all bunched up in this big pack right now.
Yeah, a lot of racers are bunched up here, it looks like. Yeah, that is a wide field back there.
Yeah, a few straddlers out here running with... But then you have, this is the last car in the pack, 23 cars. That's a significant number of cars. Oh, there they go!
Oh!
Problems on the backstretch, we got a wreck! I see the 34, I think the 19, 42, 39, 6, and 32 are involved, and, well, look at that.
19.
Wow, the caution quota has returned. Welcome back, everyone. I forgot to introduce this as the weekly caution clock segment of the race. But I think the race did that for us anyways. We're now under caution once again. Intermediate Tosuma that'll have the lead. We'll double check on that incident later. But it looks like I thought I saw the 34, I want to say, of Arena turned up to the outside wall. Well, it was 23 cars. I don't think it's going to be 23 cars anymore in the front pack, but just like that, I think they had a first major incident in about 100 laps.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
We'll see what the teams do this time, given that most of them had just come in not too long ago. I'm pretty sure most of them took tires and fuel. Looks like some of them are going to be coming in, try to top off the fuel. We'll see if anybody is signaling that they're going to stay out. Doesn't look like it. Bit of contact with the 96 and 6. Is anybody on a lap down? I think the 98 will get her lap back. But yeah, strategy's been a pretty important part of the game so far. Fuel strategy, of course, is going to play an important role, I think. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Fuel strategy, fuel strategy was a pretty important part of the game in the first half of the race. I think it'll be even more crucial. And right now, that's going to make things a little bit interesting, given that we have, let's say, under 90 laps or so. I want to say 2-ish more stops to the end. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and not only fuel strategies, but some of these cars, they might... with this caution itself, we might get
running a little bit further back. These guys all just take fuel. Yeah, looks like tires and fuel for everyone. Looks like everyone's putting on a fresh set and topping up their fuel tank. So, in fact, we're gonna get a reset here of things. Everyone's gonna be basically on a fresh setup and everything. And Audie Stoneman is going to take the lead off of pit road. She was running up front before, and now she's taking the lead. 98 will get the free pass. She's back on the lead lap. There she goes. Right now, given that we have, I want to say, what's that, 86 or so laps to go? I think we're looking at 2 more... Yeah, I think we're looking at maybe maybe a one stopper and kind of a bit of a stretch run at the end. I think they have enough fuel to make it on one stop, but this makes things a little bit weird now. I think they, yeah. Looking at the numbers I'm looking at right now from the I'm looking from the data center here. It appears that these cars can do about 40 or so laps, a bit more than 40 laps, 45 maybe, if you can stretch it on fuel. Do you think fuel strategy is going to play a role here, or is everyone going to be just able to make it once things come in?
Fuel strategy might play a role here, and if everybody pits, we could get another switch up as well. So we're gonna have to be paying attention to fuel strategy and restart strategy for sure. 'Cause
Yeah.
I know some of these cars are gonna be loving if they get a good restart.
Right now, I think everyone's going to be trying to save as much fuel under caution as possible. That's pretty standard. But right now, I mean, we're getting the signal now. We're gonna get the footage from the incident here. We're gonna get a replay. Watching with Harina on the outside of a 4 wide situation, although it's like a little backed out of it. But there's your problem there. 21, 19, and 34 were all bunched up.
Ooh.
The 19 jumps up wide and turns off of the 34's front end, and cars just started piling in from there. Saw the 6, 42, and I think the 32 all pile in a little bit. It wasn't as big as I initially thought it was. But there were quite a few cars that kind of got stuck there. 32 notably missing a front end. I'm pretty sure all the other cars have some form of damage, one form of damage or another, but I don't think anybody was taken out of that. No. But yeah, fuel strategy wise, I think they can make it just on one stop, but I'm not 100% on that. The numbers say yes, but sometimes, yeah, you never know. Sometimes I've learned to not just trust my head when it comes to this. Sometimes these cars, sometimes these teams either outplay themselves and maybe underfuel a little bit, or just kind of confoundingly run out of fuel with a few laps to go. We'll see what happens, but I think now fuel strategy has just been taken front and center now. That's going to be the main aspect of the race, and I think that'll be the primary variable that determines whether or not you're going to be contending at the end of this race. But besides that, right now, Audi Stoneman looking good, leading the race. That God knows that 10 team has needed good runs. They're right now sitting 22 points below the cut line. We know Yanaga's not having the greatest of days. Harina just got involved in that. Parking's blew up, but she's pretty well ahead. I think Garston was involved in an earlier incident, so this is looking like a good points day. A good points day for both the 10 and 16 right now. Both of those cars, the top 2 cars outside the playoff line, looking really good right now as we'll get ready for the restart here.
That's very good for those teams. I would be very proud with that.
Yeah, back underway here. Good jump from pretty much everyone. Nobody really lagged back too much instead of maybe the 3 car. We'll see what kind of moves these two make. Nigel's another driver who's been really good this season, but still doesn't have that win. Maybe that's a driver that might be looking to make some swings and try to get that win locked up before things get a little bit too close for comfort on the playoff hunt. And at this point, I think at this point that's something you have to think about, just because we have 6 cars without wins above the cut line. We have enough time to where I think we could get 6 unique winners. I mean, you see that 71 car. You mentioned Abby Little got pushed back quite a bit in that last run. She's now back up front, running in the top 5. So
She's back here.
Yeah, Abby Little. That's a driver that might completely shake up the playoff picture, just by virtue of winning there. Of course, Stoneman could do so and kind of lock her place up And Jetta's up here now. Look at the run she's had. Good restart by the 16. And I think the real wild card is that 3 car, Mini Arena. We've seen the other MBYW car win and completely turn the playoff field upside down. it wouldn't be entirely surprising for me if we saw that other MBYW car do the same and kind of what do you call it? Break the playoff picture a little bit. I think those MBYW cars definitely have pace. They're kind of a bit short on reliability at times, but when they're on it, they do seem to have contending equipment.
Yeah, and before we got that restart, that was really good for the 3 cars. She was clawing her way through midfield, and I saw her get all the way up into the top 10 earlier. So I think she could probably do something here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of drivers who could.
Oh, never mind. We've got a car blowing up. I think that's the 16. Never mind that. That's one car taken out of the way, and that's caused a huge stack up. A big winner in that being the 8 of Lori Schliesenbach. Oh, watch out! 19 near miss there. Might stop on the apron. Well, never mind. That's just completely turned the field. That's completely turned the field upside down. I was gonna mention the 82 having a good day. We saw the 82 earlier spin out in that initial crash. That we had earlier on, and I feared that she'd be out of contention. But right now, it doesn't look like the damage done to the 82 has really nullified her pace. Although getting held up by the expiring engine in the 16 might have done more damage though. That's kind of really split up the pack now. That it all of a sudden kind of accelerated a few extra laps of running by just stringing out the field like that. But the top 3 running well ahead of now. I think the 99 and 8. We'll see if these cars are able to drag themselves back into the draft. But I think one important thing to note about this track is that the draft is really important, and something like that might have just been enough to split the pack up.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, we've seen a pretty decent change up just after that alone.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess we'll talk about the other Uberbarn car, the main beneficiary from that, the 8 of Schliesenbach, who's now running in 5th because of that. That's another driver that I think could be, who's in that playoff bubble, in that playoff bubble, might be one to watch come the rest of the race. And if she manages to make a win here, she did run pretty well at Auto Club earlier this season. I think she finished in the top 10. Yeah, it was a 9th place finish by her. Albeit strategy considerations meant she finished quite a ways behind on the track. But we'll see. That in terms of drivers that performed really well in this race in the previous 2-mile oval, I think you'd be looking at the 55, the winner from Auto Club. You have the 93 who finished in the top 5. I think they're up there as well. Of course, you have the 99 of Webels who won at a similar track, Las Vegas, a bit smaller. But right now, we may have just seen the field, the field of contenders narrow down to about 5 cars or so. Which, speaking of, that's kind of made our incoming FanDuel FanPick segment a little bit more tricky now. Because you have a group of 5 cars, or 6 cars I should say, that are kind of gapping the rest of the field a little bit. And I wonder what kind of implications they have for both the way the field shakes out and also the way the fuel strategy are going to be going. Because now these cars don't have as many, there's not as many cars to draft around. These guys don't have as many drafting partners, I should say. And they're going to be relying on each other a lot more now. So, I guess we'll start out with you, Ellie. What do you think of the field right now? And who do you think has the best shot of winning?
Field right now, I agree. I think it's narrowed down to like 5-6 cars, but Tosama and Little look the most favorable. Kind of looks like Tosama's a little faster than the 71 right now. We'll see if that holds up. So, I think I'm going to pick 71.
71.
Abby Little.
Yeah. Well, she has been pretty strong all day. I mean, the one time she was bottled up in the back a little bit, that run didn't really last very long, and she got herself back up the front on pit strategy. So that's not a driver I would really doubt. could be a factor here, and that would completely change things up with the playoffs. That 71 has not really run well all season. Although, right now the way she's running, that might not matter. Let's see. I'm gonna go with another driver without a win right now, but it's not the 71. I'm gonna go with that point with our points leader, the 64 of Jocelyn and Ihill. This car does. This is another car that's run pretty well all day. Has been up front most of the day, most of the race, I think. And right now, with the way things shook up, that 64 looks like a car that that could be able to get things done. Although she might have a little bit of an uphill battle here. You see out of the top 5, there's two Mercedes and 2 Fords, and she's the lone Honda here. So if things start becoming a bit of a team game in terms of what do you call it? In terms of managing the draft and getting runs like that, the 64 might have to do all that work by herself. But I think that 64 definitely has the pace to assert her position as she's doing right now, sending it 3 wide. And I think and we see another car slowing down. That's the 34 of Harina. It's like down on the apron might be some sort of tire or other sort of mechanical problem on that car. But yeah, I think you should watch out for that 64 car. If her strategy pans out correctly, I think that's a car that is going to have to be considered very highly once the end of the race comes along. Alright, I think that'll wrap things up for a mid-race report. That was certainly an eventful one. As the pack,
sure.
Yeah, as the pack now encroaches upon some lap traffic, we'll hand things over back to the booth, as our booth members will also bring up their picks, and I guess we'll take things over to Anthony now, who I think will make his pick.
Yeah, I guess I will be picking here, and looks like the 31 is causing a commotion again, but even so, I believe that 99 right there, Marisha Velbos, she's going to end up winning this thing. She really hasn't led in quite a while, but she's still been up front. She's still been quick. She's clawed her way back up to the front, and maybe in this final run here, she can somehow get back to the lead.
Well, I'm gonna take
That's my pick.
I'm gonna take Arina Tosima in the 93. This car's looked very fast all race. She didn't really show up until this second half of the race, but she's made it count and she's led quite a bit here at the end. I think that the 93 of Arina Tosima will be the one that gets this victory, and I think she's gonna be the one that completes the commotion. All right, and as we've got 70 laps to go. They were talking about it, but when that caution came out, around lap 114, to one stop from there, you'd have to go about, hold on. You have to go 43 laps on each stint. So that's a bit long, because they've been going about 45 laps. So it's probably within the doable range, but that is still going to be going to be very interesting to see what those cars are able to do. It's going to be very interesting to see what these cars are able to do with that pit strategy. And then the 16 blowing up obviously split the pack up quite a bit as well.
Yeah, no, like I was saying when she was leading, she's not going to win today, obviously, but she led laps, and I think those count for points, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of important. She got a couple points from that. So
And a couple extra points. Unfortunately, she's not going to beat the 46 in the standings because the 46 is still running.
Yeah, so 46 kind of got a mulligan there as she's going to hold up everybody.
I guess she's just bored at this point or something.
She's just trying to make it to the end, and I commend her for that.
Yeah, I mean, every point matters.
Yeah.
I think that's what we've been talking about with Angetta too. How about Michele Yatica sitting in 7th? We haven't really seen a lot from this 92 car this year, but Yatika's been looking pretty solid. She's been...
Yautica was up here earlier in the race, and now she's slowly making her way back near the front.
How about Carly Burns? She's up in 8th. She looked like she'd kind of lost her pace earlier, but she's managed to get back up here. She's up in the 8th spot. Lily Talberson sitting in 12th. Been a great day for Evans Ross Racing. All 4 of their cars have looked very strong at points today.
Yeah, all of them have been near the front as... Uh-oh. Another slow car might be in the way. And that's gonna... Oh, that's gonna hold up Nihale.
Just a little bit. It's actually gonna hold, I think it's gonna hurt Velvelst a little more.
Yeah, not as much as I thought.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
6 car of McJasmine. Now, McJasmine has already got a win. She's already in the playoffs, so...
Kind of unfortunate for McJasmine, though. Just...
Yeah, she looked like she had a strong car today. Just, unfortunately, did not have the, didn't have the luck to get through that incident. But, McJasmine has been very, very good on the road courses this year. Still trying to get that first top 10 on an oval this year, though. She still has yet to get one.
Huge run on the outside.
Yeah, this is going to be something that the Evans Ross Racing cars are going to be. They're going to be probably quite happy with having another Mercedes here in the top 10, in this front group, with Schliesenbach up here. You know, that's 3 Mercedes, so the Mercedes outnumber everyone now at in the front pack.
Schliesenbach looking for a strong run today. Gonna help her get closer to the cut line.
Yeah. Could make the cut line irrelevant if she ends up getting the win.
Yeah, totally. And she might get the lead here, as you were saying.
Here comes Bria Delade. She's looking
Delade
to the
as
inside.
well.
But Schliesenbach now looking to the inside on Tosima. I think...
Kind of getting helped by Delade.
I think where I would say the safety zone is, if you're on fuel, I think if you pit around 160, you should be good. You are absolutely good to the end. If you get all the fuel in the car around lap 160, that's where I'd feel the most comfortable.
Yeah. Delade's still trying the way inside line.
There's still 3 wide, and they're going to catch this lap car of the 32.
They're going to catch 32.
That's probably going to hold up the 93.
That's going to help Schliesenbach a ton.
8 car's going to take the lead. She actually already had the lap led, so...
That works out perfectly.
She's going to be clear now for the lead. So move Lowry Schliesenbach, the German driver, for the German team out front.
All those Fords, and they're somehow going to lose again.
There's still 60 laps left.
Yeah, that is true. We're not even close to the end. And I already jinxed it. Here comes Delade.
Here comes Tosima.
Tosima as well, recovering. And they really check up on the inside line in turns 3 and 4 a lot.
Yeah, it's just very hard to keep the grip down there. Tosima's going to get second. She's gone right by Delade.
Delade really checked up, and it's going to affect her.
It's going to hurt her a lot.
She's going to drop.
She lost third to Nihale. Now we might see a fight for the lead. Here comes Tosima right back on Schliesenbach.
Looks like Tosima and her crew got the setup down.
What a run.
Those pit stops.
What a run that 93
100%.
just got. She is clear into turn 3. That's not something that we've seen a lot.
Oh, 64. I thought she was about to turn Schliesenbach.
I still can't give enough praise to Abby Little. I mean, she's running great. This is a great race for Abby Little. She's needed a run like this. That team has struggled a lot this season. They only have they have 3 top 10
Oh
finishes
my
this
goodness,
season.
contact.
Contact between, was that Nihil and Schliesenbach that made contact?
Yeah, Nihil and Schliesenbach, some contact there.
I was busy looking at the points. I didn't catch it.
Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah, Little has 3 top 10s this year, and only one of those she really ran well throughout the race, which was at Phoenix. I believe she got a top 10 at Road America, and she got another one at Charlotte, but, you know, the 71 team's been getting better. That's what I'd like to point out. Every Evans Ross racing car is now in the top 10.
Wow.
So that team has been, they clearly brought a great package as the 93 has just disappeared. Oh, the 93 is slow.
Oh,
She's
no.
off the pace.
What happened?
Well, I just had to say something, didn't I?
Is it a mechanical issue or something? Little's got the lead.
It looks
Yeah,
like
looks
it.
like
She's
it.
coming to pit road.
Yeah, she's heading to pit road. Wow, drama. Big drama.
And that's well outside the fuel window, so she's going to have to pit again.
I know she's going to need a caution to save her.
Yeah.
Well, it was down to 5.
There's the car leading this group now. It's actually a Jarsaraj in the 98. Yeah, 98. Remember, she fell a lap down earlier. She's gotten it back, though.
Yeah, it's been kind of a wild race for her. She was leading, then she unexpectedly pitted, and now she's back on the lead lap and recovered nicely to 6th place. Uh-oh, they're
93's
catching
back out.
31.
93's back out on track, but
Got to be frustrated with that.
oh, absolutely. She might stay on the lead lap.
Oh, Delod, perfect move. Might use the lap car as a pick. Oh,
Yeah, she pins Little behind Happerman.
perfect
And
move.
now the 55 out front.
Bevels is going to take advantage of that too.
And
And
Little's
Little's
gonna
going to
get-
be the one really screwed over. I mean, really screwed over. I don't know why she's trying the outside, but looks
Ellie,
like she's finally going to get by.
Ellie, you got anything as to what happened to Tosima?
Yeah, so it looks like her tire blew, which is probably, I'm gonna say this, very upsetting for her because she was leading for a really long time and that was a really fast car.
Okay, I was wrong. She did not stay on the lead lap.
Wow.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Delod has had a good car today. I wouldn't be shocked if she ended up in victory lane after we get this done, but
Yeah, I wouldn't be either.
it looks like Little's recovering nicely though.
Yeah,
Staying
Little's
with
at least
this
sticking with these
front
cars.
pack. Yeah.
But Bria Delod now out front here in that 55 car. Interestingly, now that the 98 is leading this, or well, now that the 98 was leading this
Never
group,
mind.
and they had actually started to close in lap time wise.
31's just been a menace today as a lap car.
If Tosima's gonna get back up front, she's gonna need a caution, and she's gonna need it probably after the next cycle of stops to get back
Yeah.
on the same cycle as everybody else. really sliding up the track, though. Schliesenbach sitting second. She's trying to hold Nihale behind her. They're going to catch the 34 of Arena.
Opcos have definitely played a factor in this race, just
50 laps to
slowing
go.
down.
Closing
Slow
in
down
on
a
that.
lot of drivers.
Closing in on that fuel window to make it to the end. .64 struggling to get around the 34. That's her own teammate that she's struggling to get around there. Finally, she'll get underneath. Braid a lot out front. 155 is about the edge of where I'd say you could maybe make it.
I think we'll see anybody try to make it to the end, or is it too far out?
After one stop,
Yeah.
I think most of the field will probably be able to make it.
No, I don't mean. Actually, I take that back. I meant like, take a zero stop
Well,
strategy.
they haven't pitted in 40 laps.
So that's probably a no.
So I don't think they're going to go 90 laps on fuel. Well, 85. I don't think
Yeah.
they're going to go 85 laps on fuel. Vebbel's looking to the inside of the 8 car for second. I think what's going to decide this race is going to be pit strategy. It's going to be
Definitely.
how you get down pit road. Who's going to have the best stop? I think that's what's going to be the key here at the end of this one. Well, if you like tracks that start with M, we have another one next week. It's Mexico City, the Tecate Telcel 200 from the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City. Beautiful Mexico City. As we head down south of the border next weekend, along with the Continental Series that heads to Aguascalientes. We'll be live next week with that. Mexico City's going to be fun. They're actually using a bit of a different layout for Mexico City. They're not taking the stadium section. They're actually going to be using Peraltada for that track. But otherwise,
Interesting.
yeah. Marisha Vebbels trying to get underneath the 8 of Schliesenbach. You got the battle for fourth back here. That's Little and Nihale. I think the Mercedes that would be least willing to work with teammates is definitely the 99. And yes, you see she's going to pin the 8 car behind the 46 here.
She's gonna what?
Haven't you said the same thing like this whole race?
I don't know.
Yeah, bro forgot.
I think that's the first time I said that. But anyways. Terrible joke aside. Whoa!
Caution, I believe these cars are coming to pit road. Yeah, that's
Yeah, they're
everybody
coming
except
in.
the 99.
Vebel's trying to stay out the longest.
Devil's just trying to stay out a little long here. I don't hate that. Well, that's
That'd be an
basically
interesting
everybody that's come
strategy.
down pit road. That's like literally everybody, actually, except for a few cars. There's a couple cars that are staying out here.
Yeah.
But if I'm Mauricia, I'm not sure that I like that strategy on par of staying with a draft, but it does give me the most fuel. .55. Gonna just win the race out over the 64 there. I assume the 99's
Good
down
pit
pit
stop.
road now. Yep, there she is. There's the 99 down pit road once again. Final time down pit road for most of these cars.
Coming up on 40 to go here soon.
Yeah. And it's gonna be very tight, but I think they made it pretty decently far.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is Nihil trying to do?
They made it pretty decently far in terms of strategy. In terms of their lap in terms of how many laps they made it. They put it around 115. Made it to lap 158 or around 158, so made it about 43 laps. That's pretty much exactly where they need to be to hit their mark. Pebbles is going to have a little more fuel.
A little bit more fuel, fresher tires a bit? Or did...
Just a bit fresher tires, yeah. I mean, everyone took 4 tires, so this
I'm
is
still
now
thinking of that strategy.
this is now the effective battle for the lead. Actually, no, it just is the battle for the lead. Okay, the 55.
Yeah, this is the battle for the lead.
Delod and then 64 of Nihil, and now she's going to use Harina to her advantage.
Yeah.
Nihil's going to
Perfect
slip
move.
right out in front. Great job by Nihil.
.55 still hasn't gotten around.
Finally will. That's going to drag the 71 in, though.
Yeah, it's going to drag Little in.
And interestingly enough, the 98 of Ajar Siraj has also pulled up to this group, to these 2 cars, the 8 and the 99.
Yeah.
And now a battle for second's going to be on here. Here comes Little, trying to get by Delod. Delod has just not looked very strong on the short run. That 55 has just kind of been hasn't been strong on the short runs, but as the runs have gone longer, that 55 has looked a lot better.
Oh man, Little's gonna use the lap car as a pick too.
This group of cars, there's Vebels, Dejarsaraj, and Schliesenbach. Little is closing up on Nihil for the race lead.
Oh man, if Little somehow wins this.
That 71's looked very good on the short runs.
Yeah.
We saw her do
Down
pretty
to
much
the
this exact
inside.
same thing on the last pit cycle, so
Gotta watch out for the 31 though, that could be trouble.
that could be trouble.
Could be trouble. She's just gonna squeeze through.
Wow. I don't know how they made that stick, but they did.
That was way too close for comfort.
Yeah, no kidding.
And
Little's
Little's gonna clear. What a
Little-
move.
Little clear of the 64. But 64 dives it right back down to the inside.
Good battle for the lead.
So they go side by side across the line there.
What are the lap times looking like? like for Rebels.
37-1 up front. She ran a 37-0.
Eh.
Kind of had to check up there to get by the 31.
Yeah, that's not gonna help her either. That bit of a problem, some might say.
Fighting back here with a Jarsaraj. And yeah, she lost time that lap. I think that second group could definitely pay. I think that the second group could play a factor, but it's gonna take a while for them to be able to get in to play a factor. Now, if you're Tosima here in that 93, she's lead lap. She is cycled to lead lap now. She's trying her hardest to stay lead lap, stay out as long as possible without and hope for a caution. Because if a caution comes out, that pretty much saves her. But if she has to pit again. There's no way she's making it on fuel to the end. Abby Little is on the verge of a big win here in Michigan for her season. But she's going to have to hold off two of the best drivers all year in Nihil and Delod to do it. Delod's really gotten held up behind this 32 though.
Yeah. Oh, Nihil had a chance at the lead, had a bit of a run, but couldn't make it stick.
Now that this group is split up considerably, you know, it's just the 71 and 64 now. They've split up considerably. Now I might start watching this second group back here, see if they have anything. See if they can start making up some time. But the leader here, Little still trying to hang on. 30 more laps left for her. Fight for fifth here. There's a Jarsaraj on Schliesenbach. Yeah, these two keep. It looks like Nihil
might have a chance. Side by side, 30 to go.
30 laps to go
Getting
here.
in tank.
Little trying to hold off the driver that's led the points for a considerable amount of the season, but has not gotten that win yet. Nihil came so close back in Pocono, but wasn't able to do it there. A botched pit stop cost her that one. Nihil's hungry.
How hungry?
But here in Michigan, it's a battle of the Northeast. Nihil from New York and Little from Pennsylvania. They're catching a lot of lap cars. Now, these cars just really aren't gaining that much time. They're kind of stuck battling each other right now.
Yeah, they're kind of stuck back here, so I think it's going to be a two-car battle for
It could be a
the
three-car
win
battle.
here.
It could be a three-car battle if Delod is able to reel them back in enough. But
yeah, I think Delod kind of a non-factor right now, at least.
34 just came down. She's off cycle, so.
This does not affect the trout population.
Is there trout in Michigan?
I don't know. Whittle's starting to
Yeah, I
pull
guess-
away a bit, though.
I guess trout are found in lakes and rivers, so I mean, I guess they could be in the in the lakes, in the Great Lakes. This is gonna be tough though. Now she's got to get around. She's got to get through this lap traffic.
Yes,
That's
she's not.
three. There's three cars all right here.
Yeah, these lap cars aren't really slow either. They're on pace a bit.
They're not terribly slow.
Yeah. Kind of helped her a bit. But now it's starting to hurt her as she's trying to get around the two.
Kind of helped her get the draft up to them, but now
Yeah.
you know it's kind of hard. It's gonna be difficult to actually drive by them.
Well, that's one. Maybe two here.
She got a little loose trying to get through.
Yeah.
There are trout in Michigan. Okay, thank you, Ellie, for letting me know.
And just in one lap, seems like she's going to get around the lap traffic. Yep.
Yeah, but she did sacrifice a little bit of time to the 64 to do it.
Yeah.
The lod's pretty far back. That 55's dropped well back, so I think she's a non-factor now. Unless we get another caution,
25.
which I...
I don't doubt the ability of this field.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, there's still plenty of cars running. And I mean, there's a whole big old group right here. Like, look at this. There's like 5 cars here. There's another chunk of cars back here. Like, it's not impossible that we get another yellow. Now Delad's kind of slipped back, and I think now Delad may end up just dropping into the clutches of that second group, because
Yeah. Yeah, so now it's a 2-car race, like I said.
yeah,
Officially, pretty much.
well, nothing's official till the race ends.
It ain't over till it's over. You're right. My bad.
Yeah, you're bad. You're terrible.
Nuh-uh.
That's the lap car, the 31. That's gonna check up the 71 a fair
Oh.
bit.
Might check up the 64 as well. Nope, not quite.
It did check her up a little bit, but not terribly. Not terribly
Not
so.
terribly, but here comes the 42, though.
That's a lap car getting in her way.
Yeah, that's going to help Little a ton. If the 42 can clear, which I don't think so. But them battling each other is definitely going to help.
I think Nihale's gonna have the draft of the 71 here, though.
Yeah, Nihal is going to get clear.
Yeah, this is a mess.
Oh, dearie me, what is going on?
Audie Stoneman's in this. You know, that could be, if the 55 falls back to those cars, that could be the battle for the last spot on the podium.
The Stoner.
I think the first 2 spots on the podium are going to be decided by these two, though, Little and Nihale.
Yeah.
Nihil running a little bit higher. The higher lane is definitely a bit grippier here. There's more grip up on the high side, but it's a little more difficult to run consistently.
Yeah.
71's gonna get checked up here though by the
Uh-oh,
46.
Little's gonna be in trouble. Little's got to get around the 46.
She did. She's got around quickly, but the 64 has
Just in
got there.
time. Yeah.
Getting through the slow
Less than 20 to
traffic
go.
is going to be the most difficult part of this. 19 cars are left on the lead lap.
Gonna quickly get by Jasmine out here, though.
I think she'll do it. I think she'll be okay. If you're looking to make up time, I think you want to run up high. If you're looking to try and make moves, I think you want to run low.
Yeah.
For Nihil, I think she's got to keep trying to stay high. But,
She's trying the low side.
she's running the low
Really
lane right
working.
now. That 71 has looked better on short runs than long runs this race. And this is a pretty long run to the finish. But there's still 16 laps left. Both of these two run the high lane this time. Nihil's starting to slip back just a bit. Well, I think the 71 does have a bit of a draft off the 34 here, so I think that's kind
Yeah.
of helping.
Seems like it. She's getting through the slap traffic pretty quickly, though.
Yeah, she's navigated the lap traffic pretty smoothly. Probably won't be another lap car for a decent bit, so this is going to be where
Yeah.
Nihil's going to have to try and make up some of that ground. Nihil and Little get through the lap car at exactly the same spot, and Nihil could not clear,
Never
get
mind.
underneath the 34 there on the exit of
It's
4.
gonna slow her down a ton.
That's gonna. She did gain time. At the very
Sure.
least.
Yeah, maybe used a bit of a draft of the 34.
Starting to gain a little bit. But Nihil trying to get her last ditch effort to get by this 71 of Abby Little. There's Delod,
Whoa.
third spot. She's having to go through this lap traffic at a much more difficult at much more difficult spots than these front two, which is only increasing their gap.
Nihil's starting to close in a bit again.
She's really starting to close.
Oh, yeah.
Little kind of got away the last little bit, but Nighthale's been slowly dragging herself back to the 71 as we've reached our Windows 11 to go. Abby Little leads. It's Jocelyn Nighthale, Bria Delade, Marisha Vebelst, Lowry Schliesenbach, Ava Jarsaraj, Adi Stoneman, Lily Talberson, Arlen Henstrom, and Michele Yatica that make up the top 10. As we may have a move for the lead here, as Nighale's going to the inside.
Nighale's got to run.
She's got to run. Just can't.
Not enough, though.
Just can't place it.
10 to go.
It's going to be another lap car they're going to have to deal with in the 32 of Rariston. But I think that might be it unless they catch the 31 again.
I don't doubt that. It remains to be seen, though. And Little's already looking to get around the 32, and she will.
She'll get around
So will
clean,
Nighale.
but so will Nighale. Little kind of cut that path through for Nighale to get through.
Yeah.
That's the thing with being the leader is you're
People
cutting that
follow you.
path for the cars behind you through the lap traffic.
Yeah. Oh, Nighale slides up a bit.
The 71 really checked up in the corner though.
Second pack is almost caught up to the 55.
I think Nighale kind of got startled by the 71. She really slowed up
Yeah, that
in the middle
checkup.
of turn, in the middle of 1 and 2, or in the middle of 3 and 4, and I think that startled her a little bit.
That checkup actually benefited Little.
Yeah.
Looks like they are going to catch that 31 again.
Yeah, I'm not terribly surprised. They are going to catch that 31 again.
For one final time today. And they're catching up on her quickly.
How many laps down is the 31? 9 laps down, so she's going to be 10 laps down by the end of this race. Ellie, what's up?
The 6 car has tires down, so she's going to pit right now. They're checking to see what to do, if they can repair them, replace them. What's the method here?
I think Nighale had to check up a bit there entering the corner. She's going to lose some time.
I mean, this looks like Little's race to lose. Nighale
It looks like Nighale.
did gain that lap, though, a tiny bit.
It looks like Nighale was on the inside there a bit on the front stretch. Maybe trying to get some clean air on the front of the car.
Yeah, very well could be. And the battle for there's going to be a battle for the podium. The 55's dropped all the way back to here. She's actually managed to slip all the way back to that group there.
Yeah.
5 laps to go. Little trying to hold off Nighale. A driver well down in the points. Little has struggled most of this season. She's sitting 35th in points. Jocelyn Nighale on the other side of it. She's sitting first in points right now. She's already going to extend her point lead with this finish. But Nighale's hungry for that win. She really wants to win a race. For Abby Little,
Davis
this would
versus
save her
Goliath.
season. And get her into the
Looks
playoffs.
like a good run for Nighale there.
4
4
laps
to go. She's running a bit of a higher line, it seems like, compared to Abby.
She's running she's running up the track now.
Yeah. And it seems to be working for her right now.
She is starting to close in. she runs lower.
Trying to get that clean air again, it looks like. 3 to go.
And lost a little bit, though. Lost a little bit of momentum there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that car is set up for the outside line more than it is for the inside.
There's a lot of just kind of clean air. Little's holding the clean air. Nahale's trying to break through it, but
Yeah.
it's hard to do that. 2 to go, though. Nahale got a great pull through the corner that time. She's
Great
going to be
pull
right
to
on
the
the
go.
bumper.
This is going to be close. I don't think they're going to get any lap traffic.
Nobody's going to be in the way, so it's going to be an all-out shootout between these two. Here's the battle for third, by the way.
Oh, dearie me. And Nihale's going to have one more shot.
Nihale's really dropped back, though. She's kind of slipped a little bit. I think running lower just isn't going to do it.
It's not
I think
working
she's
for
got to
her at
draft
all.
that 71 big time. White flag, 1 lap to go from Michigan. And Abby Little leading by just under half a second over Jocelyn Nihale. Nihale's trying everything she can to get some clean air. Try and get to that 71, but nothing she's tried has got her there.
Nothing is working for her.
She's going to have to
Little
really
just-
drive it deep through
Oh,
3
she
and
got
4.
a nice run, but I think she's just going to run out of time.
It's too little too late, I believe. Abby Little will cross the checkered flag and win in Michigan.
Huge
Nihale
upset.
comes in second. And we've got to wait like years to see who's third. Ajar Siraj will get third. Her name may be Abby Little, but she's just taken a huge upset in this field to win this race here in Michigan. What a drive by Little.
Just amazing. What a race. And we also we were so focused on the lead, we completely missed the second pack, just battling that out. It was a huge battle there. But can't blame us. It was a good battle for the lead.
Great race. Absolutely stellar finish. Very fun to watch. I'm glad you're here for that, Anthony. What were your general thoughts on how that race played out and how it went?
I think it went exactly how I thought it would. But honestly, it was a mix of strategy, a mix of hard, tough, good racing, and we got an upset winner in Victory Lane today, who was fast all day, and maybe this big win here in Michigan for Ford can get her on track for possibly maybe better.
Yeah, big win for Ford here in Michigan. Held off the Honda of Nihale, who I believe Nihale's still going to extend her point lead. But
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I mean, this shakes so many things up in that cut battle. Well, all right. Well, we're going to send you back to the studio for the post-race show here from Michigan. What a victory by Abby Little here at Michigan. Rasha, Ellie, take it away.
Okay, now I think this is the time you have to start thinking about grabbing race wins. That, considering the stakes at play here and the fact that the 71 just managed to win from 35th in points, definitely makes the thought of winning, I think, more important than ever. I'm Russia. Welcome to the post-race show. Well, I think we tend to say that super speedways bring about upsets quite a lot, and it seems to have happened again. We saw in California Briatolad win from way down in points. Today we see Abby Little win from way down in points. In fact, I think Little won from a higher points position at this race than Dalad did when she won at Auto Club. But that's how many upsets we've had this season based on their points position at the time of the win. But congratulations to the MNC Racing driver, an excellent race by the top two, Little and Dihale, with a battle between 1st and 35th in points, and in the end it was the underdog that took home the win. Ellie, we mentioned that the importance of fuel strategy and timing your pit stops right. In the end, it ended up becoming a 2-car breakaway by themselves in their own pack. I mean, I think we touched upon the importance of making sure you stay in that front pack pretty well in the pre-race and the mid-race shows, and I think that's exactly what happened, right?
Yeah, that is definitely what happened. We saw a very tight race between those two. There was moments when she gained so much, but then she would fall back again. But the main strategy there was trying to stay in the front pack for both of them, and the 55 could just not do it. And I believe those lap cars definitely did, have a play in some of it. But overall, I think Abby Little is an underdog who might need to be watched out from now on. That was some pretty impressive racing from her, being down 35 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a very impressive performance by the 71. Stayed out front all day. It really wasn't a fluke which she ran very well the entire race and was fighting the 64 and the other front runners all day. So I think she spent more time up in the front of the pack as compared to in the midfield at the back. So yeah, I think a pretty deserved win regardless of points position for Little. And
for sure.
Yeah, and Nihil continues to pull away in the points. But right now, if you're the top three, if you were the top three entering this race, top three in points entering Michigan were Nihil, Malakson, and Parkings, none of whom had a win. This makes things a little awkward now, I think. Now that there's going to be only 5 spots left on points, and there's still plenty of races left to go. Plenty of racing left, and a lot of time for different winners to come in and stake their claim in the playoffs. I mean, let's see. Mexico City, Sonoma. 12 races, I think? 12 races until the playoffs begin, and well, I feel like anything can happen here, considering we don't have that many slots left before you pretty much have to be a winner to get into the playoffs. So, what do you think? Do you think that if you're one of those top 3 that were entering this race, what kind of things do you start tweaking to try to secure that win, to lock that playoff spot in? Because right now, I think things have started to get a little shaky for them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think things are definitely going to get shaky for them, especially after this, because this, I mean, speaking of getting shaky, is going to shake things up. You saw somebody who's down 35 in points win, and you're in the top 3 and you didn't get a win after a few races where we haven't seen I believe, a win from those top 3. So, I mean, I would be pretty worried about what my strategy is, seeing a racer down 35 points winning and I'm up here in the top 3 on points.
Yeah.
I think they're definitely going to have to set their cars up for possibly longer runs.
Maybe. I mean, given how close the 3 were, I think coming into Mosport the previous race, they were pretty much tied up in points for the lead. So, given how close things are at the top, there really isn't much room for error right now. I mean, though to be fair, neither Malakson nor Parkings had a particularly great race, and Nihil finished second. So, if anything, that'll definitely help Nighale's position if things come down to winning the regular season championship to make the playoffs without a win. I think the 64 is probably in the best place possible to do that right now, but you just never know. I think it's safer to try to grab that win rather than going without, I think.
Yeah, I agree. A win is something I would trust more so than points. I mean, sure, Nihil could do it, but I would try to get that win ASAP.
Yeah, Nighale's probably the closest anybody's come to. Nighale's probably the closest that have come to winning right now. I mean, he already has a second place and quite a few top fives, including now 2 top fives in a row. So he's finished 5th in most sports. So he definitely has the pace to be a contender week in and week out. We'll see how that works out in the next couple of weeks, because we have a bunch of road course races, which will make strategy really important for those cars up at the front of the field. Should say up at the top of the point standings that don't have a win yet. I think from then on, I think I think it would be a good idea to start chasing down race winning strategies rather than points maximizing. But at the same time, how much room do those teams have to adjust, without starting to drop points out? I think if you're Malixon or Parkins, I think you have enough of a cushion that if there weren't any new race winners, then they'd probably still be fine. But if you're someone like Harina or Yanaga, who they didn't have very good races today, finished 24th and 26th. Those are drivers that were already on the cut line. Thankfully for them, I think the main contender to pass their points blew up. Although I say that Audie Stoneman finished in the top 5. So we'll see how the points shake up after that. But I think that actually means Stoneman gets. I don't think Stoneman is in, but she's going to be very close to the cut line. That's going to make things really interesting, I think. Stoneman was another driver that I think I'd be looking. Stoneman and probably Schliesenbach. Those two drivers were pretty quick today. Schliesenbach was good in both 2-mile races, so we'll see how that translates to the rest of the season. But yeah, this is definitely gonna make the points race very interesting from now on.
Yeah, I agree. And I think they got to watch out for underdogs like Abby Little.
Mhm.
That was very impressive.
I think the good thing if you're Yappy Malixon right now is that you've done pretty well on the road courses so far this season. I mean, we just came off of 2 road courses where she finished in the top 10 both times, so a win might not be too far out of might not be too unfeasible to think of right now. We have Mexico City, Sonoma, and the Daytona road course coming up. Those are 3 road courses, all very different, all going to be very all present their own challenges, I think, and they're all going to be obviously pretty strategy heavy. I think if you're looking at drivers that have done well at the road courses so far this season and might be looking to get a win, I think Malixon is one to look out for. Garnston might still be one to look out for. Of course, she had an excellent performance at Bathurst, just fell short of a win to Orlin Handstrom there. Let's see. Harina did pretty well. Harina did pretty well at Montreal. Was another main contender for the win there. Yanaga had a top 5 as well at Road America. So a lot of these drivers have done pretty well at road courses. So I think it's gonna be. I think all of these drivers that don't have a win necessarily but have been running well, in that kind of playoff bubble, have had their moments on these road courses. So, and I feel like, if all of them manage to turn up their performances at the same time, we might see some real exciting stuff coming up in the next few weeks.
Yeah, I agree. For sure. We'll definitely see some very exciting racing, and we have a pretty interesting track coming up very soon, so I
Yeah.
think the racing there will be fun to see, especially from the top 3, but maybe some of our underdogs will also do pretty well there too.
Yeah, looking at our next race, it'll be in Mexico City. That track's gonna be real. That track's gonna be real interesting. Of course, the altitude of the Mexico City area will pose quite a few challenges for these teams, especially when it comes to engine cooling and aerodynamics. Given the density of the air up there, that'll definitely play into that'll definitely play into the team's planning for next weekend. In terms of obviously Mexico City has that long front stretch, so it's gonna be really important to have good. I think it's gonna be really important to have good top speed. If you could take anything from this track and apply it to Mexico City, it's to have a setup that allows for high top speeds. I think. Well, that's kind of tangential, really, but yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, Mexico City is gonna be a real fun time. I enjoy watching the race cars take on Mexico City in basically all shapes and sizes. You know, in fact, there might be a few people out there that are wondering why they don't run the Formula E layout out. The Formula E layout that's almost an oval, but not quite. That would have been an interesting event as well. But we decided to go for the road course this time around, and hopefully that'll be that's for the better. I do enjoy AWSCO road course racing so far this season. It's been really fun, and I think we're going to continue seeing a really good show as these drivers continue to take on these road courses. But yeah, Michigan, you know, the racing was very draft heavy. Definitely different from all the other races we've seen this season, and I think Abby Little took full advantage of that. Of course, Nihil's been strong on basically any kind of track, but I think you know if you were that 71 team, a little bit of a break from that road course racing where they've struggled a little bit. I think really helped them kind of reset their season and grab that win here, which allows them to kind of focus in on maybe the playoffs and maybe try to look around at the rest of the calendar. They did get a top 10 at Road America, so who knows? Maybe they can use some of that experience they get at that track. Road America is another track with a lot of where top speed is often pretty important. So I think that could be a factor that plays into things as well.
Yeah, I agree. And back to road courses. Some of the road courses we've had have also been really fun to watch. So, given the next few are probably going to be, I think the next few are going to be road courses.
Yeah, they're all road
I'm very
courses.
excited to watch those. Yeah, that's going to be fun.
I do, let's see. If we take a look, let's expand our our data set a little bit. We'll try, from all the drivers that have a win already this season. Who do you think is most likely to grab a second one on one of these road courses? I mean, obviously I can't take. I think the two Mason Parker cars that are pretty up high in points right now, Yarsharaj and Handstrom, are obviously two drivers that have got to be considered for that. Considering they've run pretty well road courses, both of them have wins at road courses. I think Alacantes is another one that might their teammate Alacantes is another one that has had a success at these road courses as well. So that's another driver. I think MPM in general has been very strong at these road courses. Maybe they could pool their their resources and focus a little bit on Alicia Byrne. That would be interesting if all four of their cars punch their ticket to the playoffs, and three of them won on road courses to do so. I think that would make things really interesting. But yeah, any drivers that have already done pretty well at road courses this season that you think could maybe back things up with another win here?
Yeah, I think Janet Parkings would be a driver to look at. I have been decently impressed with her road course driving.
Yeah, Parkings has been pretty good. Got that second place at Montreal. I think. Won pretty well at the other road courses as well. Has generally been around the top 10, 20 in most of these road courses. So I think
Yeah.
she's taken to that kind of discipline pretty well. And given that now there's a little bit of extra pressure put on her and the team, I do think she might be one to look out for as well as a threat to win. Yapi Malakson, of course, coming from that from Australian Supercars experience, has a lot of road course has done a lot of work on these road courses as well. I think that's what's gonna make things really interesting from the top three in points. That all of them are pretty strong in their own ways, but I think the 23 and 72 have been pretty good on road courses. The 64 has just been good all season on any kind of track. So yeah, I think in terms of the playoff race, there's a little bit of doubt, there's maybe a little bit of pressure being put on those top three. No, 0 wins between all of them, but they've run well enough that I think they can contend for wins. And sometimes you just have to be, sometimes you just have to be there. The best way to get a win is to be at the front near the end of the race, and that's what these three have been the best at. So it might just be a matter of time before they get that win out of the way and can focus on the playoffs and the rest of the season. All right.
Yeah, and to expand on your point real
Mhm, go
quick
ahead.
about them each having their own strengths, I do think that'll be very interesting to see them all battle out their own strengths. And I agree with you on Yappy Max, and she's been pretty impressive. And I also agree with you on Alicantes. She's been also very impressive.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll take things over back to the booth now. Echo will give out her closing statements, and we'll be wrapping up this broadcast very shortly.
Yeah, and a very, very good race, a very fun race to watch here from the Michigan International Speedway. Abby Little took the checkered flag. Congrats to her. Next week, we'll be at Aguascalientes in the Continental Series. First time an international series is going to that track. The Tabasco 250 at the 7/8 of a mile concrete oval in Aguascalientes, Mexico. And then, for the Cup Series, the Tecate Telcel 400, at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City. It'll be a fun race. I hope you all will enjoy that one. I think it will be great. We'll be heading out to Mexico for the first time. All right. On behalf of Ellie, Eddie, Rasha, and Anthony, I'm Echo. Thank you all so much for joining this broadcast. I will see you guys next time. See ya!